Today, I want to talk to you about when niceness becomes toxic. I want to talk to you about 7 key traits that men unknowingly manifest in their lives that keeps this nice guy archetype destroying their relationships and eroding their confidence with women and in all other areas of their life. If you don't know who I am, my name's Daniel, and I help guys become men they can be proud of who attract women that they're proud to be with. But if you've got the archetype of the nice guy hooked into you in a way that's deteriorating from your life, you can't be a man you're proud of, because deep down, you know you aren't doing what you want to do. You're not being authentic to your desires. You're not connecting with the woman that you want to connect with. You're not expressing yourself when you feel you want to be expressed. And this can lead to an emotional downward spiral in your life where you start putting on a front to the world of who you are that you think other people will like. And you have this outside in approach. What does everyone else want me to be? And I can chameleon myself into that instead of what do I authentically want to express out. So that's what today's video is going to be about. If you haven't already, if you want to be a stand in the fight for positive masculinity in the world, hit the subscribe button to join the fight, and I'll see you at the end of the video. Okay, so trait number 1, he doesn't have quick access to his no. So what does that mean? It essentially means he lacks the ability to state boundaries. This is a really good sign of self-respect, because when we have boundaries and we say no to things, it's showing that we value ourselves. That's how I want you to look at boundaries, because if you're around people and people are being insulting, they're being a bit judging, and you just say nothing, like, I don't want to get involved, I'm unreactive, you aren't actually being a good person in that moment. And that's how I would rationalize it. I'd be like, see something that I don't like, someone cuts in front of me in a line, something inside of me be like, hey, that's not okay, you know? But instead of saying something which might cause a little bit of confrontation, which the nice guy is so fearful of, you don't say anything, and then you say, oh, well, I'm just a good guy, you know, I'm a spiritual guy, I'm a really good guy, look how I didn't even cause a fuss when someone did this. But it's not coming from a place of strength or authenticity or any of this. It's coming from a place of being a coward. And this person gets taken advantage of a lot. If in a work situation, there's some work that needs to be done, no one wants to do it, the boss gives it to the nice guy, and the nice guy does it, not because he really wants to, but because he's so afraid to say no. I can't say no to the boss. I can't say no to this pretty girl. I can't stand up for what I believe in around her. And he just comes across as this person that isn't really real, because he's like chameleoning himself into all these different people. It's like a girl doesn't respond to him for like 5 days. He's like, oh, no problem, she's probably busy. And then she finally responds and he's like, yeah, all excited. So this leads to a really important lesson, that people will treat you how you expect to be treated. So you are teaching people continuously how to treat you. This is not an out there problem. Oh, it's their fault, they need to sort this out. This is on the nice guy. He is giving everyone the information on how to treat him, instead of saying, no, don't do that. Hey, I thought we we're going to have a call at this time. Like, I really value my time. I hope you do too. Let's please be on time when we have our calls. He can't have that conversation because he's always giving people the benefit of the doubt. He tolerates this bad behavior. And this is the first thing the nice guy needs to do. Get quick access to his no. No, that's not okay. Stop doing that is very important. This leads into the second point. The nice guy is deeply insecure. So why doesn't he want to say no? When he sees people treating him badly, when he sees other people being treated in a bad way, why doesn't he speak up in that moment? Because he's deeply fearful that people will abandon him. If I tell my boss, hey, no, I'm not working over the weekend, he's scared he's going to get fired. If I tell my friends, hey, no, I don't like the way that you guys were talking about women, he's scared they won't be his friends. Or the same thing with a woman. She might not want to see him again. But are those the people you want to build a life with that you can't even express your honest, authentic desires around, your viewpoints, your opinions? Doesn't mean you always have to agree on things, but you need to be comfortable enough, firstly, in yourself to be honest to express those things. And you want to surround yourself with people who don't agree with everything you say, but they're not going to attack you for it, and they're not going to disown you for being honest. Those aren't even your real friends. So the nice guy needs to be more real. I heard this with one of my clients. Like, he was talking to a girl. He's more of like a Trump guy, and this girl was more like Biden. And he's like, talking to the girl. The girl's like, yeah, Biden's so cool. And he's like, yeah, that is so cool. And I'm like, no, like, express your authentic viewpoints. Disagree with people. Doesn't, oh, I just have to agree with everything she says because that's going to get me laid or get me girls. No, a girl wants to see a man with a spine, with some substance, not this chameleon. It's like, this girl likes Joe Biden, so I'm going to pretend I like Joe Biden. This girl likes Donald Trump, so I'm going to pretend I like Donald Trump. That's the definition of fakeness. That's the definition of a nice guy. When I talk about being nice, I'm not saying like, oh, you're a good guy. It's more like inauthentic, fake, disingenuous, dishonest, doesn't stand up for what he believes in. Nice almost has like this positive connotation, but the phenomenon of the nice guy is not that at all. Okay. Number 3, the nice guy is ungrounded. He's overly emotional. He can't really calm himself down. He's always giving these nervous laughs. Look for people in your life and look for when you do this. You're like, ha 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 ha. When you meet people, ha ha, yeah, how you doing? Yeah, yeah, ha ha. You laughing, not because something said that was funny. It's just this way to release tension. The overly emotional nice guy. Something women are looking for in men is they want to feel safe. They want to feel held. This doesn't mean you never have to show emotion as a man, but if you're overly emotional, if you're more emotional than the woman that you're trying to attract and date, that's going to be a big red flag for her because she needs to be emotional and be held by that person. But if that guy's always emotional, she's always the one that has to do the holding. And that's not what she's looking for in her feminine depth. Okay, if you look back in the caveman times, if a neighboring tribe was attacking your tribe and you were just like, ah, like screaming in the corner and crying like, oh, what's going on? Like, is that a valuable human trait? Forget about women for a second. Just a valuable human trait. People are like, I don't want that person in my tribe. I don't want that guy as a friend. I don't want that guy as my husband, because when things hit the fan, he is not going to be able to help himself and he's not going to be able to help anyone else. And that's how most men are today. It's like, oh, she didn't text me back. It's like, oh. It's like, if you get so emotional over those things, you don't even really deserve those high quality of women until you've worked on that thing. It's like part of maturity as a man. It's like that thing happened, like, yeah, no big deal. That doesn't mean you never express emotion. You should just be the stoic. That's taking things to the other end of the extreme. That's not about it at all. It's just saying in most man-woman relationships, someone's taking more of a masculine leader role, someone taking more of a feminine follower role. It's not superior and inferior, but she wants to know, I can trust you. You're going to be my rock. Most men don't know how to be a rock today. They're way too emotional to do that, okay? And when women are around a man like that, her attraction switch moves to, or she's not even thinking like, oh, he's a great guy and he's got a great job and all that stuff. Straight in her biology, it's like, wow, this guy gets very emotional. That is not a guy I want to bond with. Hundreds of thousands of years of biology is giving her that message. It's not some intellectual decision that she's arriving at. So learn to find your core. Learn to be grounded in yourself. Practice meditation. Practice putting yourselves in situations that cause high emotion and look to find balance and equilibrium in them to help strengthen your ability to deal with emotions. It doesn't mean that you never feel emotions, but you're able to still be effective. Oh, I'm still feeling scared to talk to that girl. Does that fear hold you down and stop you from acting? It's like, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still going to go do it. I want to start that business. Okay, am I just so scared? Or it's like, yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still going to take that step. That's a place you want to get to, okay? Number 4, the nice guy hides his sexual desires. This was a big one for me. I grew up with some friends and they'd have girlfriends, and sometimes when the girlfriends didn't like what the guys were doing, maybe they're out late or talking to other girls or stuff like that, they'd always be crying to me like, oh my gosh, he's such an ass. And I'd just be like, it's okay, it's okay. And in my head, in my naive way of thinking, I'm like, oh, she said she doesn't like it when her boyfriend does these things. So I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just going to be that nice guy who's just there to support her emotionally. And that's going to be a back route or a back door, no pun intended, into getting the sex and intimacy I was looking for. But it's a failing strategy. The nice guy lives in this eternal hope. If I just keep being nice, finally something's going to happen for me and it's going to turn around. Now, this doesn't mean, again, you take it to the opposite. Like, that means you just got to be an asshole. No, you just have to be real. You have to be authentic. You have to express your own opinions. And that's what it's really about at the end of the day, okay? The nice guy acts around women, not even just women, but in all areas of his life, like he doesn't have a dick. It's just like, hey, I'm just this like dickless man. Like, how you doing? Versus like, hey, I got something of power here. You may not want it. That's cool, but I'm still packing power, and I'm not just here for some pleasant conversation only. That might be a part of it, but I'm not afraid of my desire. I'm not afraid of my sexuality. I own that, and I'm comfortable expressing that. The nice guy's terrified of that. He's feared he's going to get judged. He's going to be feared. He's going to look on like a weirdo, instead of knowing it's the most natural thing in a human being is their sexuality. It's how your ancestors have reproduced for hundreds of thousands of years successfully. But in today's world, with all our mind activity, it's like, oh, that's bad. So look to own your sexual desire. Stop watching porn. That's not owning your sexual desire. That's leaking it. That's a dark, suppressed way of using your sexual energy and your sexual desire. The same guy who can't even tell a girl, hey, I actually think you're super cute. That's the same guy who's got like a mad porn habit that he can't stop masturbating to because he's not giving a healthy expression to that sexual desire. He's the one going to massage parlors, calling on prostitutes because he can't authentically express that to a woman. So that's what the nice guy needs to work on. Number 5, the nice guy is stuck in loops of self-doubt. Okay, have you ever been at a restaurant and you're like, I think I want to get this burger. And it's like, no, but that also looks good. Oh, but what about that? And it's like, okay, I think I'm going to get that. It's like, oh, here comes the waiter. Wait, which one do I want? Okay, I'm going to choose that. Wait, which one do you think is right? He's just so indecisive. It's all this self-doubt over and over again versus the opposite of the nice guy. It's like imagining you're driving somewhere on a destination. It's like, I'm going to this place. I'm having fun. It's going to be awesome. You want to come along for the ride? You do? Awesome. You don't? No worries. All aboard the fun train. Like, that's the kind of attitude. But the nice guy like pulls up like to the girl like, hey, do you want to come in? Like, where do you want to go? I was thinking about going here, but like, what do you think about that? He completely lacks the traits of leadership, knowing what he wants to do and going after that. If the girl wants to come along for the journey, awesome. If she doesn't, no problem over here. Instead of like, wait, what does she want now? Wait, what does she want now? This is not being socially calibrated. This all has to do with him thinking and trying to prepare and micromanage everything. Okay, he's always trying to micromanage. Like, I'm going on a date, like, let me prepare this Word document, and if I say this, then she's going to say that. And it has no authenticity in it that you're dealing with a real human being sitting in front of you. No, you need to let go of that self-doubt. You need to be okay with people not approving of you. If you go on 10 dates, you shouldn't be liked by every girl. Like, she might think like, okay, cool, that guy was a fun guy to be around. But some girls should be like, I didn't agree with him. I didn't like those points of him. That is natural. And some other girls will be like, wow, I really love that about him. That's being authentic. That's how you be polarizing. If you're just trying to be pleasing to every single person that you meet, that's an ingredient for fakeness. That's an ingredient for an inauthentic life. So you want to avoid that at all costs. Okay, number 6, the nice guy is naive to women's true nature. He interprets what women say and do in a very surface level way. He doesn't understand that us men and women are different. Doesn't mean one's better than the other. We're just different. We think differently. We communicate differently. Women normally communicate in a more subtle way. They might say, you're driving in the car and you're on a road trip and the girl's like, hey, do you need the bathroom? And you're like, no, I'm fine. And you just keep going. That might be her subtle signal to say, hey, I might need the bathroom. But that's what you need to be able to do. And the nice guy can't. You need to be able to read between the lines. The nice guy sees everything on the surface. He gets back from a date from a girl. He thinks it went really well. The girl sends a text like, hey, it was really nice to meet you. And you seem like a great guy, but just really busy with work at the moment. I'm not really looking to date. So wish you all the best. And the nice guy actually believes that. He's like, wow, if only she wasn't busy, then maybe I would have a chance. But he doesn't realize that girls just say those things to not hurt men's feelings because most men have such fragile egos. And women figured out a long time ago that a big, strong, powerful man with a little ego, she can't always be directly honest with them. And hopefully we're going to move out of this in our society, but understand where women are coming from with this. Say you're in bed with a girl and like, how was that? And she's like, yeah, it was great. Like maybe she's scared to tell you the truth because it might hurt your feelings. So the nice guy always buys into the surface level of things and he gets duped by women over and over again because he's not even working with the accurate information. He's working with the text instead of seeing the message in the subtext. Maybe he doesn't even want to look at the subtext because then he would know it was something on him. And again, his ego can always say, oh, it wasn't me. She just said she just got out of a relationship. It wasn't me. It was just because she's busy with work. So it's like, no, it was me. Okay. I need to be understanding of women's true nature, what they're really looking for, instead of living in this Disney princess ideal or fantasy of what a woman is. Women have darkness. Men have darkness. Learn about dark feminine nature. Learn about your own dark masculine nature. Integrate that into yourself instead of being naive about it. And that results in a more mature, integrated whole man going forward. Okay. The final one, number 7, is the nice guy is in shadow about his anger. The biggest thing with the nice guy, the more nice he is, the more he's disowned his own anger. This could have come from a childhood upbringing for me. My father was very aggressive and I'd been on the receiving end of that, not knowing what might walk in the door, not knowing if it's a good day or a bad day. And I've been on the receiving end of that. So as a child, you say, hey, that anger, even though it was expressed in an unhealthy way, is bad. Like it's all bad. I don't care if it's healthy anger or unhealthy anger, it's all bad. But the problem is anger in the right amounts can be used to protect you in the world. The world isn't just sunshine and rainbows. It's not just love and light. Part of it is being able to say, no, don't do that. Don't speak to me like that. Don't treat me like that. And a little bit of anger or aggression is used in that way to protect yourself, just in a healthy way of putting up boundaries. But the nice guy's completely disowned from that. Okay. He's completely, oh no, it's fine. Don't worry. Oh, you were late. Don't worry. Not a problem. Oh, that's okay. Like everything's just fine and okay and fine and okay. He needs to reclaim like, no, this is not okay. And the first place he often needs to look at is himself. Because even think, I'm fine, everything's good in my life. Like with women, it's just okay. Sometimes he needs to have a smack in the mirror and say, hey, I need to be doing better here. If I really cared about myself, if I really appreciated myself, if I really loved myself, I wouldn't just sit around and binge watch YouTube videos all day. I wouldn't just be watching porn all the time. I would learn, I'd treat myself with respect. How can I learn social skills to really connect with women and approach them and speak to them? That's a part of self-love. It's not just chilling around and doing nothing. Okay, we have to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, from a place of love, where could I be better? Where could I be stepping up? So that's what I wanted to cover, just some main aspects of the nice guy. These are all things I dealt with myself and I'm still dealing with today. I'm always looking to improve and catch these underlying patterns. There's nothing wrong with being nice as long as that's integrated. You have the nice guy archetype, then you also have a warrior archetype. And you don't want to be too far in either extreme. You want to have a healthy integration of those both. You can be nice, you can buy flowers, you can open doors, but you can also be a motherfucker when it's needed. You can also be someone that doesn't want to be fucked with, okay? And people can sense that. I better not overstep this guy's boundaries versus coming across in like this rabid energy and just everything's okay, and you rationalize it that you're some kind of good person or a spiritual person, but you're actually in shadow about a lot of the issues that you have to deal with. So start investigating those, start doing the work, putting in the work, finding the programs, the mentors that you can connect with that are going to help pull you out of the slump that you're in right now. Okay, so hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, let me know in the comments below. What's your experience with being a nice guy? Where have you found it served you, and where has it also maybe not served you in some good ways, where people have taken advantage of you? I'd love to hear it in the comments below, and I will read them. So if you did enjoy today's video, hit the subscribe button. I much appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.